What was the most haunting memory from your childhood? I still can't shake this memory from when I was 11 years old. We lived in a small town where everyone knew each other's business. There was this man, Mr. Peterson, who lived at the end of our street in a rundown house with overgrown grass and peeling paint. All the neighborhood kids were terrified of him. He was tall and gaunt with deep-set eyes that seemed to follow you wherever you went. Parents warned their children to stay away from his property, claiming he was dangerous. The rumors were endless. He had killed his wife, he kidnapped children, he performed satanic rituals in his basement. Every time we walked past his house, we'd run as fast as we could, convinced he was watching us from behind those dusty curtains. One Halloween night, my friends and I were trick-or-treating, and Tommy, the boldest of our group, dared us to knock on Mr. Peterson's door. No one had ever seen anyone visit him, and certainly no kid had ever knocked on his door for candy. We all refused at first, but Tommy kept pushing, calling us chickens. Finally, I gave in to the peer pressure. I needed to prove I wasn't scared. As I approached the dark house, my heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. The porch creaked under my feet, and I hesitated before knocking 3 times. I was about to run away when the door slowly opened. There stood Mr. Peterson, looking even more skeletal up close. But surprisingly, he smiled and held out a bowl of candy. I was frozen in place, too terrified to reach for it. That's when I noticed something behind him. Dozens of framed photographs covering his walls. Pictures of a woman and a little girl. He saw me staring, and his smile faded. That was my family, he said quietly. Lost them in a car accident 15 years ago. I mumbled a thank you, took some candy, and rejoined my friends who were watching from the street. But I couldn't stop thinking about those pictures. 2 weeks later, I was walking home from school when I saw Mr. Peterson struggling with grocery bags. Without thinking, I offered to help. He seemed surprised, but accepted. Inside his house, I discovered it was immaculately clean, not the den of horrors we'd imagined. On his coffee table sat a chessboard. "Do you play?" he asked. I didn't, but said I'd like to learn. That began a friendship that lasted until I moved away for college. Mr. Peterson taught me chess every Thursday afternoon. He had been a mathematics professor before retiring. The rumors about him were nothing but cruel fabrications. He was just a lonely old man grieving his lost family. What haunts me most isn't Mr. Peterson himself, but how we treated him. How an entire town created a monster out of a heartbroken man. How easily we believed the worst about someone without evidence. How many afternoons he must have spent alone, watching children run in fear from his house. On my 18th birthday, he gave me a beautiful wooden chess set. "You were the only one who ever knocked," he told me. 2 months later, he passed away peacefully in his sleep. At his funeral, I was the only person from the neighborhood who attended. The pastor read his will, and I learned he had left his house and savings to fund a scholarship for local students. The town that had feared and ostracized him for decades was now benefiting from his generosity. Sometimes I drive by his old house when I visit my parents. A young family lives there now, and children play freely in the yard. No one remembers the scary man who once lived there, but I do, and I'll never forget how quickly we dehumanize those we don't understand, or how much difference a simple act of kindness can make.